What's going on, everyone? Stefi Cohen here. This is my first athlete submission video, and I wanted to make this video to introduce myself, tell you who I am, what I'm doing, why I do what I do, and hopefully so now that you'll have a better idea of why I'm here, you'll be able to better follow along some of the videos that I'll be putting up on the Animal YouTube channel. I was originally born and raised in Caracas, Venezuela, up until the time I was 18 years old when I moved here. As far as my sports background goes, I come from a more traditional athletic career. I played soccer for the national Venezuelan team for about 5 or 6 years. And then I moved to the States hoping to get a soccer scholarship. That didn't happen in the end. It was really hard for me in the beginning to move to a new country, being so young and not mastering fully the language and the testing style in school, and also trying to play soccer for a D1 school. I got into the University of Miami, so that was a little bit hard for me to balance. Ever since then, I was always looking for the next sport that I could be good at. So I jumped a lot from sport to sport, just looking for something that I thought that I could excel at. So from there, I tried kickboxing, I tried skating, skateboarding, I tried triathlons, half marathon running, eventually landed in CrossFit, which I feel like it's a common gateway for a lot of people to get into barbell sports, especially for women. From there, I did Olympic weightlifting for a little bit, and finally I found powerlifting, which has been my main sport for the last 3 years. And in that sport, the accomplishments that I am the most proud of have to do with being the first female to deadlift over 4.5 times her body weight and breaking over 20 all-time world records. Professionally, I studied exercise physiology at the University of Miami as my undergrad degree, and then I did my graduate degree in physical therapy. I got a doctorate in physical therapy from the University of Miami as well. I feel like that gives me a pretty unique view on all things exercise and fitness related because, I know about exercise and fitness and movement from a performance standpoint, and I understand the demands and the frustration and everything that comes from being a high performer. But I also have a pretty good knowledge base on the science and the evidence behind fitness and exercise. So I hope that through this channel, I can blend both of those things together and provide you with the highest level of information that you can possibly get.
I have here, by my count, 9 books. You can correct me on that. You are also a journalist and a contributing editor for Vanity Fair and Rolling Stone magazine, and you're also a screenplay writer. And today we're here to talk about your latest book, Pee-wee, Confession of a Hockey Parent. Rich, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So, Rich, this is something, especially here in Canada, families devote almost the whole existence to their kids' hockey game. It happens, and we're talking about hockey today, but it happens the same for parents who are involved in soccer, baseball, football, and this is the first time I ever see someone writing about it. So I just think it's a topic that is concerning many parents. They see themselves in the story that you wrote about your son.
Right. Well, I grew up playing hockey, and then I went competition for ice time for ice space. It has to be productively used. So it's like making up for what's missing, which is just the free skating time. And also, there's just so many more people, and everything's so much more competitive and so much more intense that it just puts pressure on everybody. And this fear of being on the right team, and it just seems more important than it used to. Like when I was a kid, I was on a travel hockey team, but it wasn't that big a deal. And we just had AA and A, and you mostly just stayed with the same kids your whole life, and you'd move. AA, A to AA, A to AA, all the way up to high school. And, sometimes a kid went ahead or got held back for whatever reason, but mostly it was because the idea was you could have these tryouts, but they're not going to tell you that much, because you can't tell in 3 hours what the coach could tell in a whole season, and kids progress by leaps. But now the tryouts have become so important, and there's limited space, that making the right team becomes like succeed. It comes to feel like parents like succeed. They're not great players because they don't really want to be there, you know. And it's the kids that want to be there, and usually the coaches pick up on that as much as size. Like who's out there going as hard as they can, and those kids get noticed by the coaches, and those kids get extra attention and all that. But it's like, you know, it's a struggle. It's always a struggle.
Wow. In regards to the Malcolm Gladwell book, do you think a lot of authors are guilty of data mining? They have a thesis and then they search the data that confirm the thesis, and then it's presented like true fact?
I don't know, but I do know. I don't know. I have no idea because I'm not that kind of writer, but I do think that when anything makes too much sense, you should be very skeptical. You know, because things usually don't make sense like that. There's not a key that explains everything, you know. So, and when things confirm too much to what you already think going in, like if like, oh, I thought this and it's exactly like that, you should be pretty skeptical of that too. So, the main thing is like you can make these big trends, but when they play hockey, it's the kids on the ice, and it's an individual thing. None of that stuff matters.
Okay, so Rich, what is your main message for parents with this book?
Well, I put it at the beginning of the book. It's my father always said to me, which is a key to a good, successful life is to care, but not that much.
Yes.
My message is you should care, but not that much. It's just hockey.
Right.
It's hockey, but it's just hockey. Just, you know.
And have fun with it. And
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And let your kid have fun. And remember what your kid, looking back, like in 20 years, how do you want to look back? You want to look back on it, it's a great time you spent with your kid. That's it.